Welcome back to Engine Shop Joe. Hope you had a good week. We are going to continue with looking at engine parts. This part we're talking about today is the crankcase pressure filter. It is on all the mid-range engines. On the mid-range engine, it bolts on top of the valve cover, kind of piggyback. On the ISX, it's on the front left corner. On the ISM, it's about in the same place. And what does it do? Well, so let's go back to 2007, the ISX. That's about the year this first showed up. It was required because Cummins needed to stop oil vapor and oil drips from getting on the ground. So we all know in the old days the blow-by tubes would have oil drip out of them. If a guy was running hard and stopped and idled for a half hour, there'd be between, say, a few drops to I saw as big as maybe a 3-inch circle laying on a ground of oil. That wasn't acceptable. And you could have oil vapor coming out if they were pulling hard and they had a scuffed cylinder. You could actually see it coming out from under the truck if they were in first gear pulling hard. There wasn't a lot of wind under the truck. So that all had to stop. So when we take a look at the picture of the housing on the front of the engine, we're going to be looking at the cover of the housing. So there's a backing plate. The filter is just a piece of plastic with filtering media on it that's got a rubber gasket around the outside of it on both sides. So the filter actually has the sealing gasket for the backing plate and the cover built into it. You just set it in, put the cover on, and put in 6 or 8 bolts respectively, depending on what engine. And you torque them to spec. I think they're 18 foot-pounds. They might be 14. You need to check that. Anyway, that filter media would catch the oil that's in the blow-by. It would drip out of the media slowly, and it would go down to the bottom of this housing. And off the bottom of the housing, there's a tube, a hard plastic tube, that if you follow it winds through by the air compressor, by the high pressure injection pump, and down by the gear pump, and there's a hole in the block with a fitting in it, and that line snaps onto it, almost like the fuel lines snap onto those steel fuel barbs. Now, you're probably wondering, when they're running down the road, there's pressure in the crankcase, and that goes up through the engine, and it goes into that housing. So why does the oil drain back if he's running 6 hours hard? What makes that oil drain back? Why isn't the crankcase pressure just holding it up and it floods the housing? Well, they kind of use the principle of hydraulics, if you will. Imagine that the housing, and you can see that the housing is about 5 inches wide, 4 inches deep, and it's about 10 inches tall. So imagine that's an airspace, and it's got crankcase pressure in it. And then this hose on the bottom of the housing, well, the hole in that is only about a 1/4 inch across. So any oil down there, you've got a big head of crankcase pressure pushing that oil down that small tube, and then it gets into the block. And once it gets into the block, you've got a large area down there. So end of the day, the oil drains down. Any that doesn't, overnight when the engine's shut off, will finish draining down. Those filters will saturate, and then the media will plug up, and then you'll get fault codes for blow-by, or crankcase faults they call them. And it's 555 and 556. So 555 is the first stage of plugging, and 556 is you better change the filter pretty soon, or you're gonna be changing seals, because it's going to push the oil past seals and gaskets. So 555 logs up, depending on the engine model, it logs about 15 to 17 inches of PSI in the crankcase. And then the red check engine light, or I should say the red stop light, will log when you get between 23 and 26 inches of pressure inside that housing. Now, how does it know there's pressure in there? Well, we're going to take a little look at a slide, and I'll mention and point out to you the crankcase pressure sensor. And of course, it's bolted on the front side of this housing with the pigtail going down so that when the fan's on, it blows the harness and shakes it. And yeah, there's a lot of trouble with the wires in that pigtail. So when you start seeing open signal circuits, suspect that pigtail's got a problem. The sensors do fail. We've replaced, probably since they came out with this engine, I'll bet you I've personally seen over 24 of them replaced because something happens to them, they quit working. The sensor's got a little port on it with an O-ring that snaps into a hole on the filter housing, and then it's got one bolt that holds it to it. You'll see it in a picture in a moment, and that's how that works. On newer engines, if you buy an X15 CM2450, the crankcase filter housing is going to look very different to you. Very different, much smaller, because there's no filter in it. You don't ever have to change the filter. Why? Because they found out that the housing does a good enough job to catch the oil. They can, by designing the inside of that housing a little differently, they can catch all the oil, and 99.9% of it goes back into the engine, and just hardly anything gets out down the actual blow-by vent tube. Yes, there is still a crankcase pressure sensor on it, and by the design of the housing, it can measure excessive crankcase pressure. So beyond that, let's go take a look and see what this looks like. There's our crankcase pressure sensor, and this will put the engine into derate when you get the filter plugged and it goes to the stage where it's driving a red light. It does a pretty serious derate on the engine. If you've got engine shutdown enabled, it will shut the engine down. The red light will flash 30 seconds and shut the engine down. So on this type of housing with this filter, you can now buy a filter that's called a lifetime filter, and it looks just like the filter that's in the engine, except they don't put any media in it. So that's a little tip for you guys. And you can buy that new filter from Cummins. It's got a different part number, and it looks just like the filter in here, except there's no media in it. And then you never have to change the filter again. Why'd they come out with that? Because they figured out that this did a good enough job of catching oil that you don't need it. Now, they still make filters with media. How come? Because if you deliver laboratory items, or you have a tanker that goes inside of a building and the floor is painted white, and you're in there running a pump off the PTO for half an hour, you could have a few drops of oil come out and drip on that white floor, and that might be a problem. So you can buy a filter that has media in it, and if you do put a filter with media in it and you were running a filter without media, make sure that you run, when you do the changeover, you take off the blow-by tube from this housing to the ground and run some solvent through it and blow it out so there's no oil residue in it. And then once that media is in there, zero oil will come out of that vent tube. So they still sell that, and that's why. Let's take another look at the different view. And here we're towards the back side of the engine looking forward, and that pipe going up to the straight up a little to the right, that's your EGR crossover pipe, and I've got a green rectangle around the crankcase filter assembly. You can see it from the back there. And the blow-by in the engine or crankcase pressure gets to that filter housing in different ways depending on the generation of the engine. On the early engines, the vent hose that was on the stamped steel cover, it went down to that housing. On the newer stuff now, they've got a tube that goes into the front of the valve cover that comes out, and there's an O-ring connection inside the valve cover there if you take it off. And part of the reason that the brand new engines are so good at not having any problem with oil getting on the ground and not needing a filter at all is because when you pull the valve cover off, you'll see in the top of the valve cover there's a pretty large assembly with vanes in it that the crankcase pressure has to go into and go back and forth through all these vanes before it even gets into the tube that heads it down to the crankcase filter housing on the engine that is not a serviceable item anymore. And then that also has some passages in it. So by the time it gets through all that, there is no oil coming out. The crankcase pressure sensor is a 3-wire sensor, 5-volt feed from the ECM ground, and then a signal voltage back to the ECM. So there you have the crankcase filter assembly and the crankcase pressure sensor. And thanks for joining me on Engine Shop Joe.